Hi, and welcome to the Federation's daily Facebook livestream page. I'm Mary Beth Landy, and I will be presenting our live stream today. The Federation is open, and we are working remotely to provide information and resources for families and the professionals who serve them. Please contact us by phone, email, or through our online intake form to ask your questions. You can find our contact information on our website at www.fcsn.org. So today's topic is supporting kids during a time of crisis. We have some tips for nurturing and helping children while at home. The first thing that I'd like to bring up is to develop and keep routines that are in place. Keep the normal bedtime hours that you have and wake up hours as if the children were at school. It's really important to provide that structure for them. They also find that to be reassuring. They may not like the structure, as many kids don't, but it's helpful for them. If you have either a whiteboard, or you can actually, I know there's some online templates that you can print off a daily schedule of what's going to happen that day, because that consistency and structure is calming for everyone. You know what's happening, the kids know what's happening, and if you need to, you can change that, but at least they have some expectation of what's expected of them during the daytime and what you're available for during the daytime. Be creative in new activities and exercise. I have a friend of mine who is actually doing gym class with her kids at home. So they have outdoor and indoor gym class activities. I know that there's a resource out there for yoga for kids, an interactive yoga class for kids online at 12 o'clock every day. That's Eastern Standard Time. Those are some resources that we will provide as after we continue with the live post. I will direct you to some resources. But be creative, incorporate some new and old activities. I consider it going back to the future, if you will, before we had screen time, before kids were tied up so much in their electronic devices. Go back to taking bike rides with the family through the neighborhood. I'm sure that the dog would love to be out more and walked more often. Board games are a great way to connect. Have a family board game time that the children get to take turns picking what game they're going to play. Um, that's an activity that you can have as a family. You can incorporate that as part of the day, again, as the structure that you're adding on for your children. Manage your own anxiety. That will certainly help with the anxiety that the children have. Self-care is so important. If you have a chance, check out the video that we did yesterday by Pat Cameron on self-care. She has some great ideas of things that you can do, because it is, as she said, like the oxygen mask on an airplane. Take and put yours on first before you put on another, so that you're able to take care of the kids. Avoid talking about your concerns around the children. This is something that it is hard to do sometimes, but I think we need to watch what we say and how much information we say around children. They pick up on things, and they will pick up and sense your anxiety. So things that you can do to avoid an increase in anxiety would be the best thing that can happen. Limit the consumption of news and social media. Everyone is talking about the virus. Everybody is posting. If you go on a news station, that's all they are talking about. I actually had to ask yesterday to turn off the TV for a while. So watch the consumption of news and social media that you're taking in, because you can actually overload yourself with information, but particularly children can pick up on that. You may think that they're not listening to what's going on, but they are picking those things up. Keep in touch with people. Do it virtually. Be creative at these times. There's Facebook opportunities to do that. You can, if you have an iPhone, do FaceTime. Zoom is a wonderful way to be able to do groups and have virtual lunches, dinners. Skype is available. I know that there are some families whose the grandparents are telling bedtime stories or reading bedtime stories to kids virtually, actually giving them the opportunity for the children to see relatives that it would not be safe for them to see at this point, but to be able to see them actually more often. Um, that some families are doing nighttime rituals with grandparents. So that's a great idea that you can do. There are also, and we have on the Federation's resource page, some social stories that you can tell to children that are specific. Some are for adults and some are for children. Make plans. Now, that seems a little strange when everything is up in the air at this point, but if you're proactive about the things you can control, that will actually ease the mind of the kids that this is not going to be uh, forever. We don't have an idea of what that time frame looks like, but that there is a turning of seasons, if you will, and that things will actually um, change into a different environment that they're currently in. Do things like virtual play dates, virtual lunches with their friends from school. Everybody can have their lunch, and whether it be indoors or outdoors, it's supposed to be around 75 tomorrow, so it'd be a great time to do an outdoor lunch with the kids. I know in our household, we have a 10-year-old going on an 11 whose birthday is coming up, and we're talking about ways to be able to make a virtual birthday party, possibly by having all of her friends have some type of treat or cake that they could have, and that we could all be on Zoom and everybody singing happy birthday at the same time. We had a virtual birthday party for a friend the other day where we all stood at a distance but saying happy birthday, and he was able to open up some gifts his grandparents had given him. Not quite the same, but certainly something that's creative and still gave the opportunity to be able to be with friends. Um, See about some problem solving that your kids can come up with, some ideas that they might have, because they actually watching you problem solve the situation is reassuring to kids. So it's something that I think would be really helpful. Keep kids in the loop about what's happening, but keep it civil. Make sure that your answers to kids about maybe why they can't see grandma and grandpa should be age appropriate. We're not going to see them this week, but we might see, we hope to see them soon. Not putting a particular date on it, but seeing it soon. Older kids certainly can have more information as they're able to handle it, but try and keep things still in a positive light. It's not a matter that we can't see grandma and grandpa because we don't want them to get sick. That would worry the kids more. But in fact, if you say it in a way that we're going to see them soon, maybe we can plan something, vacation together over the summer, that hopefully can take place. That was something that can be especially helpful for kids. And check in with kids, especially young kids, often. Do this at a time when they are calm and relaxed, and talk to them and give them a chance to be able to process their fears and feelings. So by calm and relaxed, during the middle of a tantrum is not necessarily the greatest time to ask them how they're feeling about things. I have found that to be very uh, ineffective for both myself and my children, but they are not oblivious to things that are going on. They may seem to be, but you'll notice by their sense of how settled they are is to how they're absorbing this information that's happening. You might want to take the path of least resistance. Be reasonable and flexible, particularly around things like screen time. You might want to hone up on your negotiating skills, about, letting them have another 5 minutes of screen time before they go back to do their 20 minutes of reading. I think the path of least resistance will certainly make you more sane, and that will certainly help with the kids. So try that. And more importantly, I would suggest that you accept and ask for help when necessary. If you have a partner that you're co-parenting with, I think it's really important that you set up different times. Many people are working from home and trying to balance home and life. That if you can balance out who can take care or watch over the kids for certain periods, and balance out household responsibilities. And this is a great time. We talked a little bit on Tuesday about transition, but this is a great time for any child to be learning living life skills. Um, Even kids that are younger kids can set the dinner table. If they don't already know how to do it, it would be a great time to learn. But as give the kids age appropriate tasks, and that will also take the burden of feeling like you're trying to carry everything on yourself. And most importantly, I think it's important that you be creative, flexible, and take care of yourself. So I hope that this was helpful on some ways to be nurturing with your children in your home environment while we go through this crisis together. I hope that you will take the time to continue to watch our Facebook Live videos. It is informative. Different projects will be providing different topics every day, and I find them to be very helpful. So it has been great spending this couple of minutes with you. I hope that you have something to take away from this, and I look forward to what we have to offer tomorrow. Again, our resources are available on our website. That is www.fcsn.org. We also have frequently asked questions that are compiled with answers. So if you have questions, please fill out our online form. Our staff is working remotely, and we will get back in touch with you. And most importantly, have a great day. Thank you.